Hey everyone, it's Eric, and it's Christmas Eve, the 12th day of our Vlogmas series, the final night.
Well, I guess we're all in the spirit of the season by now, so I'm doing what everyone else is going to do tonight. I'm going to stay home with my family, and I'm terribly sorry, but would you like to, I shouldn't keep you standing here this way. Come on in, come on. Come on in.
It's been a lot of fun, you guys. I've had a lot of fun baking. I hope you've had a lot of fun watching these videos. Tonight, our candle is 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. This was from last year, but I just thought it was kind of fitting to have it tonight. It's just a wonderful candle, wonderful cookie fragrance. Your scent notes are Santa's fresh baked cookies, a warm mug of milk with dashes of cinnamon and nutmeg. So for me, this fragrance smells just like fresh baked cookies coming out of the oven. Just a real nice baked cookie fragrance. It fills out the room rather well. I think this is one of the better cookie fragrances as far as the throw. So it does rather well for me in the family room. And I remember getting the wallflower last year, and the wallflower is even better than the candle. So I think I still have one, I don't know, somewhere upstairs, probably tucked away in a box somewhere. But yeah, really just a wonderful, wonderful fragrance. I was a little disappointed that they didn't bring this back this year, but maybe they'll bring it back next year. So we do have a very special cookie that we're making tonight. We will be making my grandmother's butterhorn cookies, and I pulled out the recipe. It's just very old on a piece of cardboard that she had sent me. The recipe itself is extremely old and comes from the old country, and my grandmother actually had taken the recipe and kind of updated it a little bit because some of the verbiage that was used in it we just don't do anymore. You know, flour doesn't really come in cakes. We don't just certain things that were in the original recipe we just wouldn't do these days, and some of the measurements were different than what we would do today. So she did update it, and that was great that she had done that. So it can continue on, and I'm so glad to share this recipe with you. I believe I'm the only one currently in the family that still makes this cookie recipe, so I'm kind of like still carrying the torch, and hopefully other people out there will get interested in this recipe and try it as well. You will need a rolling pin, you guys. You will need a rolling pin for this. And it will seem a little like more daunting than it is just because of how we're filming it, but it's really not a hard recipe to do. There are some steps involved, but it's really not a hard recipe. And I think the hardest part is just rolling out the dough. But it's just a very, very flavorful cookie. And like the name suggests, butterhorn, it's full of butter. The dough is a lot of butter, you guys. So let's head on to the kitchen, start baking, and then we'll come back here, taste some cookies, have some cocoa. I do have two final cards that I found at the post office box today. Of course, I'll be checking it after Christmas as well. And, any of these cards that are coming in now, I will still send out a card, but unfortunately, they will be arriving to you after Christmas. But still, I just think it's so great that people send out cards. Thank you so much for that. Let's head on over to the kitchen, you guys. To make these butterhorn cookies, you're going to start with 2 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon salt. I've sifted it all together here in this bowl, and we're just going to add it to our mixing bowl. Next, we're going to add 1/2 cup of butter or 1 stick. And now we're going to blend those together. Next, we're going to take 1/2 package of fast-acting yeast. So we're going to use 1/2 package of this. We're going to put it in a bowl. Kind of eyeball it a little. About half. That's about half. Then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of warm water to the dry yeast and dissolve it. Now we're just going to dissolve it real quick. Okay, that looks dissolved. Now we're going to stir in 2 egg yolks. And keep those egg whites because we are going to use those egg whites in this recipe as well. We're going to add a 1/4 cup sour cream. And 1/2 teaspoon vanilla. Guys, I ran out of vanilla this week with all the baking. So I had to run to the store today to buy some more vanilla for this recipe. And boy, were those stores crazy today. Now we're going to stir this together. I switched to a fork to help mix it together better. The spoon wasn't cutting it, so I did switch to a fork. And now we're going to take this mixture and add it to our flour and then mix these all together. So what I've done with the dough is I've divided them into four balls, and you try to just, make sure they're about the same size. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact, but you just roughly take the dough and divide into 4 different balls. And then each one, we're going to take saran wrap and just wrap them up so they don't dry out because they're going to go in the fridge for 1 hour. We want to chill our dough for an hour because we're dealing with softened butter, and it's easier to roll out the dough if it's been chilled. So I'm just going to wrap these up, and then we're going to throw them in the fridge. So our dough is almost done chilling, so let's go ahead and make the filling for these cookies. So we're going to take these 2 egg whites that we saved from the egg yolks, and we're going to beat the egg whites till they're nice and foamy. Okay, nice and foamy egg whites, that's what we want. So I have a 1/2 cup of sugar here that we're going to gradually add to the egg whites while we're mixing them. And we want to basically take the hand mixer and beat the egg whites till they're nice and stiff. Just add a little bit of our sugar in, and then we'll add a little bit more. Okay, now we're going to fold in 1/2 cup of finely chopped walnuts. You could also use pecans for this recipe. Okay, and then we're also going to add 1/2 teaspoon of almond extract. Now we're just going to fold this in. So I have our ball of dough here. It's been nicely chilled. I have a piece of parchment paper down that we're going to be rolling it on. We're going to add some powdered sugar to the rolling surface. That's what we're going to roll our dough in because the dough doesn't have any sugar in it. So the sweetness is really coming from the filling that we just made and this powdered sugar that the dough is going to get rolled in. So let's add some powdered sugar to our rolling surface. Spread this out a little. There's our dough. Over it. We want to roll this dough out super thin. I have my cheaters on my rolling pin to 1/6 of an inch. So we're just going to start rolling, and we want to do like a 10-inch circle. So we have our dough rolled out into a circle as best as possible here. I ended up using the 1/16 of an inch little cheater here. I just needed to get it even thinner. The dough has to be rolled out super, super thin, you guys. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make 8 pie-shaped wedges. Now we're going to add 1 teaspoon of our filling, or about 1 teaspoon. And you're just going to put it right here in the thick end of the pie wedge. And then we're just going to gently roll the cookie up. It's almost like doing those Pillsbury crescent rolls. And we want to make sure that the point side is down so when they bake they don't unravel. I'm going to transfer this to the cookie sheet, and then once we have them all on the cookie sheets I'll show you what it looks like. Now this one here is going to be really hard. It's kind of little. But it doesn't take a lot of filling, you guys, just a little bit of filling. Look at all that yummy sugar, powdered sugar. These things bake up so flaky, you guys. This was probably my favorite cookie that my grandma made growing up. And she didn't make them too often. I think she usually just made these around the holidays. I remember her always saying that she didn't make them because the ingredients were costly. So they were always a super special treat to have. So here's what we have so far. And as you can see, there's, different sizes because I'm not the best at rolling out this dough, but they will all taste delicious no matter what size they are. So I'm just going to keep on rolling out more dough and making more butterhorn cookies. So I'm just going to show you how I like to roll these. But as you roll them, I just kind of dredge them through lightly through the powdered sugar. So you get all that yummy powdered sugar on the dough, because that's the actual sugar, that's the sweetness for these cookies. Gotta glob on the parchment. Definitely want to get that up, because you won't be able to roll any more dough in this. There. And then again, we're just going to roll this. Trying to keep my arm out of the camera there. Sorry, guys. And you see this point right there? That's what you want to have at the bottom of your cookie sheet. These are going to go into a 400-degree oven for 12 to 15 minutes. so that was my grandma's butterhorn cookie recipe, and here's what they looked like. I did I did okay, I think. I don't typically make these very often, these cookies, and I'm not the best at rolling out dough. I think if I made them more often, I'd probably, get better at it, with more practice. She could whip these things out so fast, it seemed like, but they're not hard to make. There's just, there's steps involved, and but they're super delicious. And before we try a cookie, let's get some hot cocoa going.
No Christmas Eve would be complete without that.
So I do have, let's see here, what is our final hot cocoa? Chocolate Supreme. Okay, good. End on a nice chocolatey note. I'm happy with that. Okay. And here's the mug. Oops. Oops, there's a broken mug. It's just this cardinal mug. I believe this is the mug we started Vlogmas with. So, oops, let's see. There we go. Well, I hope everybody's having a wonderful Christmas Eve and just with family, relaxing, whatever it is that you want to be doing right now. I hope that is what you're doing.
It's just another work day.
It's Christmas, for goodness sake! Think about the baby Jesus!
I know I'm having a relaxing Christmas Eve. Baking cookies is actually a nice way to spend Christmas Eve. So, and I actually did bake these cookies on Christmas Eve, you guys. Yep, this was not filmed way far ahead. So, it was filmed a little bit ahead of time just so I could edit it and get it out, but they were baked today on Christmas Eve. A little more hot water. Okay. So we're going to let that cool a little bit. Let's try a cookie, you guys. Oh, these cookies, so good. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so good. I got like this little center there where that filling is. They're not overly sweet. They have just the right amount of sugar, that powdered sugar. Oh, they're almost like a pastry, actually, more than a cookie with that yeast. The dough is almost like a pastry dough, really. I do have 2 Christmas cards here, you guys. So let's go ahead and see who these are from. Oh, how cute. Oh, there's two cards in here. Oh, okay. How cute. These are from Maria. She sent 2 cards because she couldn't decide which one to send me. So the first one says Letters to Santa. It's a mailbox. How cute is that? It's adorable. Love that. And the next one is, looks like kind of like a gingerbread house. It says home for the holidays. It's very nice. Thank you so much, Maria. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Glad you like the Vlogmas series. Thank you very much. And let's see, I have one more card. Let's see here. These cards were so much fun, you guys. Thank you to everybody that sent out a card. I've really, truly enjoyed every single one of these. They've been just so pretty. Oh, how pretty is this? Who is this from? This is from Amy. Look how pretty this is. Look at the wreath. It's got little glitter. How pretty is that? Oh, thank you, Amy. Oh, thanks, Amy. I appreciate that. Thank you. I just, like I said, I have really enjoyed all these Christmas cards. It's just been such a treat for me, and I enjoyed sending them back out. I know some people haven't gotten theirs yet for me, but I have been sending them out, and I will send these out actually if I have time to run to the post office tomorrow. Even though they're closed, I can still drop them in, and they can take care of it when they get back to work. But yes, I will definitely send out Christmas cards, even though it's after Christmas. Maybe I'll make them like Happy New Year's cards. So, but let's try some hot cocoa, you guys. It's kind of, you know, I really enjoy doing this series. It's kind of sad that it's over. I have cookies everywhere in the house. There's cake, cookies, just so so many sweets, you guys. So yeah, definitely in January I'll be going on a diet, lose a few cookie pounds for sure. Let's see here. This is still very hot, but we're gonna give it a little swig anyways. This double, what was it? Double dark chocolate or something like that. That's hot. Um, Tastes like hot cocoa though. It tastes like real good, rich hot cocoa. Yes, my favorite hot cocoa, you guys, hands down, was the hazelnut hot cocoa. That was very, very good. I liked the peppermint chocolate was good. This double chocolate one's really good too, actually. This is good because it's got that nice chocolatey flavor. And I would say my least favorites were that French vanilla chocolate one was a total bust. Just was kind of like a washed out flavor, just very bland. And the birthday cake, not because of the flavor, but just because of the look of it, which is kind of weird with the speckled colors, and it just, yeah, it kind of looked like colored chicken soup to me. It really did. I just was like, this isn't what hot cocoa should look like. So the flavor was good though. I liked that it tastes like cake. That was actually pretty good. So thank you so much to everybody who stopped in here each evening to watch these videos. I really truly appreciate it, and I appreciate everyone that watches Coffee to Candle or any of the candle hauls. If you liked the baking segments of these videos, let me know in the comments, and I will look into just doing some actual cooking and baking videos throughout next year, like sprinkle them in each month, and they'll just be primarily cooking or baking. There won't be a candle involved in those. If those go well, then maybe that'll just segue into its own channel. But for now, because this channel is so small, I'll just keep everything right here. And of course, we'll get back to candle reviews. That is coming back, of course. And we have got SAS. We have SAS on the December 26th. So semi-annual sale is right around the corner, you guys.
Oh, I'm really looking forward to it.
Have a very Merry Christmas, you guys. I hope everyone is able to spend time with their family. And if you do have to work either today, Christmas Eve, or Christmas, hopefully it's not like a whole long time and you still get to spend time with your family. And I will see you all very soon. Have a good night, everybody. Merry Christmas.